Happy New Year, everybody. Hello, welcome to Boost Live. My name is John Nelson, the plugin CEO of JKL Works and pluginbusiness.net, who are they've been undergoing a bit of a holiday themselves, or they will. And they will be back bigger, better, and stronger very soon. Wouldn't you know it? Sorry. I get something caught in my throat at the beginning of this, and I haven't even started yet. I want to do something. Thank you very much for joining us. We are all across the landscape here, from Facebook to LinkedIn to YouTube, and to hopefully we got it fixed, the channel on Rumble. So welcome, everybody. We took a pause on Instagram. Sorry, guys. That is a pain to do these sorts of live things on there. So we're in a lot of areas, and after some discussions I've had, we're going to be in some more. So once again, some of which you know, some of which you don't. So we really appreciate everybody checking this out and watching this. I want to start off this year. This year in general, we're going to, I know we've started in marketing in some of the groups that are here, but we're going to sort of back off a little bit and broaden that into something much broader, with marketing as a part of what we're going to do. And as in general, it's going to be a 360-degree business perspective on everything. So business optimization and marketing optimization is a part of that, because it is a vital part of what we do. And I'm going to offer tools and tips and different things alongside of that. So big plans for this new year. But I want to set the tone of it with something that, if you will allow me to go through this exercise with you, I think you will find it enlightening. I hope you will find it impressive. I hope you will read into it further than just the surface of it, as a practical tool for you in your organization. Because whether you are the actual boss and the owner of your business, or you're a worker but who is a team leader, you are a leader. You have the capacity to be a leader. You have the capacity to do things that are leader quality. And what you say and do matters, even when you don't think it does. And so when you start talking about organization optimization and getting the most out of your marketing, and getting the most out of reaching customers, or reaching, if you're a nonprofit organization, reaching donors, reaching your intended people that you intend to serve. When you start talking about that, what you say can matter if you choose to let it. And so I want to go through an exercise this morning with you all. And you may need to go back and watch this again, and that's totally cool with what we go through. But we're going to explain each piece of it and sort of get you to interact with it as we work our way through. And then at the end, I'm going to shut up and I'm going to get out of the way. And I'm going to give you some reflection time to see some of the same things again. And I hope you'll take me up on that opportunity to really think about some of the statements that you will make as a part of this, and working through it. So we're going to talk about renewing a covenant with you. And I know that's a church word, man. We're going to talk about renewing a covenant, but with yourself and with your organization. And we're going to use a really cool backdrop to make that happen. So I hope you will play along with me this morning. This is a little headier topic than what we will normally cover, but I want to set the tone for your year, because I truly believe, we'll get to that in just a moment, 2024 is going to be an absolutely amazing year. There's going to be some things that happen that we will remember for hopefully the rest of our lives. And I'm not talking about on a national, I am there, but for these purposes here, I'm talking about you. I'm talking about your business, your organization, your role in it. Amazing things can happen if you take the opportunity and the time to let them. So I want to inspire you, by the time this is done, to begin to, or continue to be, that force that really makes your world that you inhabit, that you're a part of, makes it a better place, makes it a different place, makes it a more positive place. There's enough negativity running around for everybody, and then some. and there's people that thrive off of that. Don't be that. Be that force for change, be that force for good, be that force for things that are, good and what matters, no matter, what you follow or how you do it. So, all right, enough of that. Going to sound like I'm preaching here in a minute, and I'm really going to when you see where this comes from. But I do want to, let's talk about last year. And I know the questions are on the screen, but let's work through these a little bit. So I want you to write down if you need to, or at least think about. So let's talk about, what was your top business priority last year? So think about this time last year, the beginning of 2023. It's going to be, high hopes for a good year. So many of us are getting out of COVID. We're starting to come back to life. We're literally and figuratively. We're, starting to get things going again. This could be one of our main years without some sort of craziness. So let's, in any form. So let's start to get on our feet again and see where we're at. So January 2023, what was your top priority for your company? For your organization? Could be business, could be nonprofit organization, could be church, could be whatever, or synagogue or temple or anything, or mosque. What is your priority for those sorts of things? What was set as the priority? Okay. Now, second thing is, what was the area that you committed, that your team committed, that your company committed to improve? What did they want to improve last year? They sat there in January and said, or December of 2022, and said, okay, what are we going to improve? What is the area that we're weakest in that we need to do something about? Okay. Now, the next question is, did the priority matter? Did the priority yield benefits? Setting that priority, did it make a difference to you? Okay. Did it make a difference to the company? We're talking company largely as a whole for the moment. Did setting that priority, did it yield the results you wanted? Okay. Now, did improving the thing you said you're going to improve yield the results you wanted? Did it make a difference? Did it make a difference in the number of customers that came through that found you, that interacted with you? Did it make a difference in the number of people that you helped, or that you made a difference with, from a health standpoint or medically, or, any other business you can think of? Did it make a business, as for a bunch of you marketers, did you see business lives changed as a result of things that you did? With those improvements that you talked to people about doing, did that make a difference for you? And then what were the lessons learned from last year? So let's step back about a month or so. And now we've gone through the whole of 2023 and looking at everything above. What are the lessons that were learned? What was the what happened? Good, bad, or indifferent. And what did you take away from it that's generally positive? What areas were exposed that you need to work on, that you didn't do as well as you think you did, or the company didn't do as well as you thought it did? Or what were the things that really happened? So I want you to, this is the backdrop that we're going to kind of ask some of this stuff from, because we need to take stock of last year, of the year that was. We need to take stock of, the time variables. I mean, I hope somebody's watching this in the future. So take out the year. We need to take stock of the previous year and to learn and to move forward with it. Okay. So now, with that in mind, we're going to introduce something called a covenant. And like I said, that's a big churchy word, isn't it? So I want to do this from the backdrop of something that happens in the Methodist Church. That's the Christian denomination that I grew up with. So they do something, and not every church does this, by the way. This is not standard fare. It's making a bit of a comeback, but it was not always done. Matter of fact, it wasn't done all that much, since its founder, John Wesley, in the Methodist Church, was the one who really started this. And that was an annual renewal of your covenant with God toward discipleship. So that was the idea behind it. And he was somewhat of for those who don't know, John Wesley is looked on from a lot of denominations. He did not consider himself a quote unquote Methodist. He considered himself a good Church of England Anglican guy, towing the line for that. But what he came up with was not necessarily Church of England. So it was rooted in that, certainly, but it went to levels far beyond. And so as a result, I have heard and seen people quoting his actions not only in Christian circles but in many other circles as well. That they revered what he had to say, and even into secular stuff, into things that had nothing to do with church. That John Wesley I've heard John Wesley quoted in different things. So he was a radical about a lot of ideas in one of the best ways possible. But at the time, he was very, very different as to the message that was out there. So the idea behind this was that you would have an annual renewal of your covenant. And so this, in true Methodist fashion, there's a service and a procedure that they go through to do this. And so it's community led. It's led by, in a group, however, whether that's a small group or a giant congregation, it's community led. But the idea is that it is very personal for each and every individual in that audience who undergoes this, or chooses to interact with it. And so the pastors or whoever, the group leaders, are leading you in the service, and then the people are responding. And so but the idea is it is still a deeply personal agreement with between you and the God you choose to follow, that you've chosen to follow, to renew your commitment to him, and to really put it out there as to what you're willing to do to be a part of that solution in the coming year. So look it up sometime. It's not hard to find information about it. It's a really cool exercise that, like I said, has largely been forgotten about until recently. It is now starting to kind of make a comeback. And more churches, more and more groups are kind of adopting it, even some outside of the Methodist faith, such as it is right now. They're really, so they're starting to kind of bring this around. So at the risk of secularizing this too much and taking away from its original intent, I don't want to do that at all. But I do want to take and apply some of this idea to your business. So your organization, your nonprofit organization or whatever. So I want you to renew a covenant with the people and the staff of your business. You as a leader, whether again you lead the whole thing, or you lead a small group, or you're a influencer in that small group, you are a leader. So I want you to take some of these principles or these questions and these things I'm going to get you to think about, and I want you to apply it going forward to and be a part of that force for good, force for improvement, force for optimization, force for meeting the goals and the priorities and reaching the people and the clients and the customers and the patrons and everybody that you really want to serve, that you're really out there to serve. Your why this business exists, why this organization exists, and why you actually want to work for them other than the paycheck. Okay. Yes, the pay is good. The pay is vital, but usually there's a bit more to it than that, isn't there? So that's the backdrop that we're going to go through this with. And at the end, we're going to take some quiet time and we're going to go through some of these again and without me talking. And so then you get to spend that time for yourself. Okay. So let's talk about what this looks like. All right. So thinking about going forward, this is from today. What is your organization's stated purpose? Your business, your nonprofit, your whatever it is, wherever you work, wherever you are, what is their stated purpose? Who are they there to serve? What is the area they're meant to serve? What is the why? Why do they do this? Why have they chosen to do this? Why have they chosen to be the organization they are? just from a big overall standpoint. Okay. Take the mission statement and sort of embellish it a little bit. Why, what is your overall purpose for doing what you do? Okay. All right. Next thing is state what you truly believe about that organization. There's a podcast that I listen to, and those of you who know this, who know who this is, I'm not going to get into it because it's not relevant to the point. But he does an exercise called I Truly Believe. And I truly believe is meant to be a cleansing agent for you. And it's meant to be, this is, there's a phrase that says you got to stand for something or you'll fall for anything, right? So this is the same idea. There have been songs written about this. There have been, pledges written about this. There have been, historical documents around this concept. So the idea is that you say that you pick something to be true out there without a doubt, cannot be disproven. But it may not be something that's readily obvious, but it goes back to your heart and your soul and your being and what makes that special. So you would say, then I truly believe something. I truly believe that I am put on this earth to do more than just get clients for people, but to really bring something called business life change, to really change. Dave Ramsey talks about changing your family tree by getting your finances in order. I believe that for business as well. If a business's house is in order and it's doing what it needs to do, and it's able to then go with its actual purpose, I truly believe that can change more than just the bottom line. It changes people. So what do you truly believe about your organization? Okay. Don't make it negative. I truly believe that that the entire department is sleeping with somebody else. No, don't do that. Okay. I truly believe positive things about that organization. I truly believe they are living up to the goals that they set. I truly believe they are reaching the people that they are intended to reach. I see it every day. I truly believe that we are providing a community service that nobody else is, and it is making a big difference. That sort of thing. So what do you truly believe about your organization? Okay. All right. Next thing. All right. State up to 3 action items that your company can do. We'll get to you in a minute. To meet these priorities above, and to really live out the organization's purpose for being. What are 3 steps you can take now? Not goals, steps, actual moves that you can do, that your company can do. That 3 action steps that your company can actually do now to make a difference, to live into the things that you're talking about doing. Don't make them pie in the sky stuff. It's, I know I can go out to reach more people. I know I can go contact this organization over here and finally make that connection with them to help serve them and help serve their people and provide them real value. I know I can get something. I can set my team to deliver everything the same day it's ordered. If it's a large purchase. There's a furniture store around here that's made that commitment to do that. And it's called Gallery Furniture. And they're just in Houston. They only have stores in Houston, but they have managed to work it out they deliver same day. I mean, they're almost following you home from the store, to deliver the stuff. That's just the way that's the commitment they've made. And others have similar commitments in their own worlds to make that happen. So what are 3 action steps you can take right now to start that journey or to enhance that journey that's already happening that the company can take? The company can take. So I better get this next point out so I stop talking about it. All right. So what are 3 action steps you personally can take to help make all the above a reality, to be a part of that solution? What are 3 steps you can take right now? Not 6 months from now, not 90 or 120 days from now, unless they just take that long, but realistically, what are 3 moves you can make right now to help your company on this journey while it's making its moves, or to help your nonprofit organization on its journey while it's making its moves? What are 3 ways that 3 steps you can take right now? These are not goals. We will talk about goals in just a moment. Goals have their place, but steps are the things that you actually do. You've stated the company's priority. You have stated what you truly believe about that company or that organization, and the company. You've laid out what you feel are the company's action steps that it can take, and you've laid out the action steps that you can take. Okay. Now, final thing here, or second to final thing. What lessons did you learn from this last year or the time before? Overall, what lessons did you learn to help make this possible, that you can apply to help make this possible? Ask yourself this. So what lessons did you learn that can make a big difference? What big screw up can be done better, can be learned from, can be where everything is improved and brought about? What amazing positive thing happened that you wish there were more of, that you could start to take the steps to do more of, for the impact that it had? Maybe it was something, not all lessons are negative. Many of them are, but maybe it was, we tried this one program and it had far more success than we ever thought possible. And we're still not doing it enough. So our commitment, we're going to redouble that effort to do it again, and to do it even more, and to do it better, and to serve even more people, or to get it out there. This sounds like a nonprofit organization thing, but it can be business too. Maybe it was a customer getting technique that you hadn't really used before that had amazing results. And so you learn that lesson, and you keep going down that road as far as you can to help grow your business and to help those changes happen. All right. One final step here that I want you to think about, and that is I want you to share it. It's one thing to have this all inside your head. It's another to have it written down on paper. It's a third thing altogether to share it. It doesn't matter what you think in your head unless you're getting this stuff out there, and not only sharing it, but living it. Choose to live it. These things, the things that you can change. How does the serenity prayer go? It's to change the things I can affect, or affect the things that I can change. To not try to change the things that I can't, and the wisdom to know the difference. I slaughtered that horribly. I apologize, but that's the idea. Change the things you can. Don't try to bang your head against a wall changing the things you cannot change, and know when to do one or the other. Okay. So I hope I recovered that a little bit, but the idea is share this with people. Okay. If you're the owner, or you're the CEO, or you're the general manager, even if it's a small company, share it with your entire staff. Articulate this vision that you have set out, that you have written down. Let's make it happen this year. Maybe the first time you've done this, even though you've been in business for a while, but do yourself this tremendous favor of doing this. If you're on a team, if you're the team leader, share it with your team. If you're not the team leader, get permission to share it with the team, and do so. This does no good if it stays inside your head or on a piece of paper you throw in a drawer and forget about, or somewhere in a note hidden in your Notion app. Okay. This does no good unless it's shared. Okay. And really brought to pass. If you really thought this through, if you've gone through what you truly believe, this is not just griping and sniping at somebody. This is actual steps that can be taken. These are actual. It's a one thing to complain about a problem. It's another entirely to actually provide the solution. If you have that, don't keep it to yourself. Share all these things with your people. Have it begin to make a difference. And then Not only share it, don't share it and expect others to do it, and because you don't have to. Okay, I've shared it, I'm done. My job here is done. No, it's not. It has just started. It is time for you to get in there and start turning these things into reality. If you truly believe in your heart of hearts that this will make a difference in what you do, or taking these approaches, trying these different or working these different ways of reaching people. Really, I'm going to choose to connect with people, not just blast out messages. I'm going to work on my networking. I'm going to work on my, and to that end, by the way, just so you think I'm may or may not be living this out, I'm going to do this as well. I'm changing my approach to networking. I am constantly messaged by people. Things are constantly put out there offering me services. My LinkedIn I'm very over prospected on LinkedIn. Sorry, guys, but I am. Maybe you are too. I'm starting to be that way on Facebook, but I've now figured out trying to learn and adapt a way to turn that into a positive. And those of you who have messaged me will see the results of that very, very soon. So it may not be the result you're looking for, but I hope it's something just as good or better that can yield dividends in the future. But networking for me has always been not my strong suit. So I need to change that. So I truly believe that networking is something that can make a big difference in truly connecting with people, not just to sell them, but to connect with them. So that's what I want to do. And that's what I'm going to change. So that's just one thing. There are others, but I don't need to share them here. But that is one that is impactful and makes a difference. And that's part of the reason in the Facebook group that we turned some controls off that we're on. So I want to connect with people. I want to see what your wisdom is. I want to actually put it out there and to make that difference. So that is an example of this kind of lived out. Okay, at least a small one anyway. And there will be many, many more changes coming. But I hope that's a good example of at least a little bit of it lived out. Now, whatever yours looks like, this is the exercise to go through it. Notice we did not mention goals in any of this. As I said, goals have their place. And so we're going to talk about some ways to set SMART goals. And obviously, as you can tell, it's abbreviation. This does stand for something. So we're going to go through each. This is sort of the anatomy of a good goal. Okay. And so I want you to take that to heart and mix it with what you just went through. And again, we'll have some time at the end that we'll go back and show all this again without me talking. So you can think about it and you can go through the exercise yourself and then not keep it to yourself. You can actually put it into action. Okay. But let's talk about goals right now and SMART goals specifically. Now, what is a SMART goal? A SMART goal is strategic. Okay. It is. So now we start to get into what these stand for. Sorry, specific. It is specific goals. They are strategic. All goals are strategic, but not if they're not lived up to. Okay. But in this case, we're talking about goals are specific. They don't just be vague. I'm going to get a bunch more clients in 90 days. I'm going to get, a bunch of stuff for my customers in 90 days. No. How about something like for every customer every person that I encounter, every business that I encounter, I will be able to go through an exercise to save them to recover $50,000, at least $50,000 in revenue. Okay, that's a specific goal. I won't stop until I get that at least $50,000 of revenue with them. So that's true, at least in my case, anyway. So goal should be specific. Put an actual something, number to them that you can touch and feel, and that's not just vague. I'm going to get more customers this year. That's a lousy. Everybody's going to get more customers this year. I'm going to get more sales this year. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I saw somebody the other day, I'm going to reach out to 600 people in 2 days. 600 people, sorry, in 2 months. Oof, that'd be killer in 2 days, wouldn't it? 600 people and make 600 connections in 2 months. Okay, that's a specific goal. All right, that's a good specific goal. That's a big one, but it's doable. Okay, which leads me to the next point. Is it measurable, this goal? Okay, is it measurable? Can you actually put numbers to this? So any goal you set not only should be specific, but should be measurable. So actually put a number, actually make it something that's, well, we'll talk about this in a second. But make it something, because if it's a number or something that's, that you can wrap your head around what it is, then you're more likely to, have a better shot at doing it. Okay. All right. Is a goal achievable? Now, there is a difference between this and the R in SMART coming up in just a second. And it's a fine line. Okay. I'll give you that. But is a goal actually achievable? Could you actually do this if everything aligned just right? Sort of in a and the difference is this: if everything aligned just right, everything is in a, there was nothing in your way, there were no distractions, there was no anything. Could you actually do this? Can I climb Mount Everest in 2 days? Well, maybe not. Could I climb it in a week? Yeah, it's possible. If I trained, if I did everything, yes, I could climb Mount Everest, at some point and reach the summit of it. If I did everything I was supposed to do in a perfect world, with it free from distractions, is it actually achievable? Can you do this? Does it exist even? Is this even possible? Have other people done this? Okay, then you being who you are, can you achieve this goal, right? Okay, but is it realistic? And you see where the fine line is here between achievable and realistic, right? So is it realistic? Can I, given life's distractions, given all the craziness, given everything that's out there, can I actually do this, right? So if that is the case, then yes, possibly you can do this, so is it realistic first, then is it achievable, right? So you ask that first. So if life is going to throw me distractions, I know it is. And this is, I believe right here, I truly believe in this achievable and realistic thing is where most goals fail. Okay. A lot of them can be specific, a lot of them can be measurable, but when it starts coming to realistic and achievable, that's where we struggle a lot. And that's where a lot of goals fail. Okay. Finally, is it time-based? Okay. Do you have a time limit on this? Some people do 1 week. Some people, depending on the goal, 30 days, 90 days. They don't go much past 90 days. That's probably a bit of a stretch. But there are many companies that set their service around a 90-day time frame. Okay, very realistic. And there's a lot of action steps to get there. But they wouldn't do that if they didn't think this was realistic, given craziness that happens. Give or take a week, they're going to get 90 days. It's not just a good sounding thing. They can't put that out there with truth in advertising if they don't feel that this is, not entirely possible and achievable in this case, going back to our analogy here. So, or our deal here. So it's got to be achievable. It's got to be realistic, but it's got to have a time frame that fits that makes sense. Okay. So this is how this is the anatomy of a SMART goal, is all of these factors right here. So when you're setting your goals over and, as a part of measuring success from what we talked about before, when you're setting the goals to get there, do they pass this test? Are they SMART goals? Okay. That's how we get here. And that's how you can become a leader and renew your covenant as a leader. Okay. So congratulations, you made it through the exercise, even with all my talking. I'm going to give you a chance to do that without my talking here in just a moment. But I hope that you found this useful. I hope that you go back and reflect on it. I hope you took part in the exercise, and I hope that you go back and reflect on it as something that can really, I hope, make a difference for you this year. I think this is going to be a fantastic year. I think this is going to be something that's going to be amazing. There's going to be, as I said, not only politically here in the United States and other parts of the world. I was just talking to some folks in Asia about this, that there are changes coming over there. But on a political standpoint, but bringing it back down to us, to things that we can control, to things that we can do something about. I think it's going to be a great year if you make it that. And think about your priorities, think about your business priorities, think about what you truly believe. Do that exercise often. You'll find it amazing. You'll find it liberating. He's right. My podcaster is right. You will find that kind of makes more of a difference than you ever thought possible. So I hope that helps. Thank you so much for watching, folks. Not really a Q&A on this one, but we're going to take now, as we close, I'm going to run this again, and I hope you find inspiration in this. We've got a whole lot planned that I truly believe is going to blow your mind, because some of it's blown mine, honestly, as I've gone on this journey with it. And we're going to make you into a leader, not just a marketer, not just a person that's out there, but a leader in your space, whether that's your company, whether that's your team, whether that's your group, whether that's your whatever. We're going to show you ways to optimize what you have, give you tools to do it, give you tools to accomplish your goals, and affect business life change for you, affect business life change for the people that you influence and that your business or your organization influences. And so I hope you will give us that opportunity. I'm going to bring in some friends to make that happen. And so you'll start to see more of that. So thank you so much for watching wherever you found us. And now I want you to, as we close out here, I want you to stop for a minute, and I want you to clear your mind of anything else. And we're going to run this again, and we're going to take some time. And so I hope you find this beneficial. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, and we will see you very soon. Thanks so much for watching.